Good morning everyone. Here we have arrived at Dalhousie or Dalhousie. In Sinhala it's known as Nallathanni. We are just about to embark on a hike, rather a pilgrimage, to go and worship the sacred Sripada mountain, in English known as Adam's Peak. But in this journey, I'll be using the name Sripada because that's the name I'm so much familiar with, and also that's very close to my heart. We have come to a very important milestone. This is the first resting hole, or in Sinhala known as Ambalama, we come across during this pilgrimage or hike or trek, whatever you call it. But for us, the Sri Lankans, mostly climbing Sripada is a pilgrimage more than a hike. So this place is known as Kehelgamo Visrama Shala or Kehelgamo Resting Hall. There are few others on our way. These places are used by the pilgrims in order to rest, sometimes during the day or even at night. This is the beautiful landscape of Samanala Forest Reserve or Sripada mountain range. What you are looking at is a couple of mountains which are known as Aligodakanda, also known as Aliyawatuna Gala, and then Yakayandu Gala, and in the distance you can make out a waterfall that is known as Yakayandu Ella. On our right hand side, the top is one end of a tea estate known as Lakshapana Estate, Hamilton Division. This is yet another important milestone. This is known as Dragon's Arch or Masara Todana in Sinhala. You can see it's got a sort of like a dragon's head and some other decorations. So this is the arch that we have to walk through in order to go and climb and worship the Sripada mountains. There are some monkeys here. They are quite frequent visitors to Sripada Forest Reserve. Actually these monkeys are, I think they are known as Rilava, and they are endemic to Sri Lanka. The elevation at this place is 1305 meters. So we have to go through this and cross this water stream that is one of the tributaries of Kalani River, and then continue our journey towards the sacred mountain of Sripada. I'll tell you more about Sripada during the hike. We are still on the Sripada trail. This is very well maintained. This path is known as Hatton-Nallathanni Trail. There are three prominent trails to go and worship the Sripada summit point. They are known as Hatton-Nallathanni Trail, which we are taking right now, and then Rajamawata, in other words King's Path or King's Trail, because that's where our ancient kings had gone and worshipped Sripada. That's known as Sripada Sri Palabhaddala Mawata. That starts from Ratnapura Palabhaddala area, hence the name Sri Palabhaddala Trail. And the other one starts at Kuruvita, that's known as Kuruvita Eratna Abeywickrema Trail. So three main parts: Hatton-Nallathanni, Ratnapura Palabhaddala Rajamawata, and then Kuruvita Eratna Abeywickrema. In addition to that, there are three other less prominent forestry paths. They are known as one Sandagalathanna Rajamale Trail, and then Dehenakanda Mookkuwatta Trail, and the other one is Davaniyagala Udamali Boda Trail. So those are the three less prominent trails. So altogether there are 6. In addition to that, there are 2 other very difficult paths to reach Sripada. They are known as Fishing Hut Paradise Trail, and the other is Fishing Hut Waterfall Trail. They actually merge with Dehenakanda Mookkuwatta Trail. So those are the paths that you can reach sacred peak of Sripada mountain. In terms of elevation, Sripada mountain is located at 2,243 meters. In feet, 7,359. We started today our journey at Nallathanni. In English it's known as Dalhousie or Dalhousie. The elevation at that point was 1,252 meters. In other words, 4,108 feet. So the elevation difference in this trail is going to be 991 meters. Almost 1 kilometer we have to climb uphill vertically. In feet, that is 3,252. We got a long way to go, people. Let's invoke blessing from the god Saman or Sumana Saman, who is the guardian of Sripada Forest Reserve. I'm sure he'll keep us safe and help us reach the summit point with you all. This is yet another view of Abeywickrema. You can see L in English is a waterfall, and this rocky surface has so many tiny cascades falling down. That's one of the reasons it's known as Abeywickrema, or the mountain of waterfalls. On the left hand side you can see a beautiful tree full of white flowers. This Abeywickrema area is also known as Aliyawatunagala, and some sources say it's also known as Appalakanda. But there's yet another mountain somewhere up there. I'll show you when we get there, which is also called Appalakanda. We have reached Red Bridge. You can see the statue of Lord Saman or Lord Sumana Saman, who is the guardian of Sripada Forest Reserve. Close view of Abeywickrema. It is approximately 1,400 meters elevation. Beyond that, in the behind is a part of Yakayandugala. Further beyond in the distance, which we can't see, are two other mountains. One is Dakinapura, the other is Balla Badihela, 1,940 meters in elevation, if I remember correct. That's also the highest point in Kegol district, and three districts, Kegol, Ratnapura and Nuwara, meet close to the Ballambanihela summit point. I want to tell you about this name Dalhousie. It's actually the meaning of Dalhousie is a hill station or town at a high elevation. There are two other places that I know of which bear the same name. One is in neighboring India, Himachal Pradesh, Chamba district. So it has a hill station, rather town called Dalhousie. And then there is another Dalhousie in Canada. If I remember, that's a university name located in Nova Scotia, spelled as Nova Scotia. The name Nova Scotia or Nova Scotia is familiar for the Sri Lankan rail fans, because we got one of the Canadian M2 A-class engines in 1915s, which bears the same name as Nova Scotia. We are at an elevation of 1,410 meters. This is the Japanese Peace Pagoda, one of the main landmarks on our trail, Hatton-Nallathanni. We have covered approximately 1/6 of our journey. We have a lot more to go. You can see the Yakayandu waterfall, Yakayandu L, on the left hand corner. We are at an elevation of 1,426 meters at a place called Gangulthanna. This is also the second resting hole or ambalama we come across during our journey. Altogether there are 5 such resting holes. So we are yet to come for another 3 such places. A closer view of Yakayandu waterfall and Yakayandu Gala. Just an amazing sight. Unfortunately, people, It's drizzling, gloomy and misty. We are on our way to the sacred Sripada mountain. You can see the path behind that we were climbing uphill. We just crossed the 5,000 feet mark. We started our trek at 4,180 feet elevation. So far we have climbed uphill vertically around 900 feet. Our target is going to be well over 7,000 feet. A lot more to go, people. We are on our way. Just going to give you a brief rundown of the journey so far. We started at Nallathanni Bridge or Dalhousie Bridge at 4,108 feet. Then we reached the first resting hole or Ambalama, that is Kehelgamu Ambalama. Then we saw the Dragon's Arch or Dragon's Archway, Makaratodana. Then we crossed the Red Bridge while keeping Aligoda Kanda, Abeywickrema Gala, Yakandu Gala and Yakandu waterfall on our right. Then we reached the Peace Pagoda and the second Ambalama or the resting hole, which is Gangulthanna resting hole. Afterwards we just crossed the 5,000 feet mark. You can see there are some abandoned shops which are active during the season, which is between December and May, from Unduwa Poya to Vesak Poya. So technically Sripada season is around 5 months, 5 to 6 months, and the off season is another 6 months or so. That is between Vesak Poya and Unduwa Poya. So during the season this path is full of pilgrims. Hatton-Nallathanni Trail is the most popular, it being the paved and somewhat short, approximately 7 kilometers. Other two prominent paths, which are Rajamawatha and Kuruviteratna, also have a considerable amount of pilgrims during the season. The adventurous types choose the forest trails, which I mentioned at the beginning. Sitagangula Ambalama, Ambalam number 3. We are climbing uphill with a bit of difficulty. You can see the mist is thick and fast. I wonder if you can make out the Peace Pagoda in the distance, right in the middle of the frame. Probably now you can see the mist is clearing very slowly. We've climbed up to almost 1,600 meters. Our next point of attraction gonna be the Ambalam number 4, Ratu Ambalam or Red Resting Place. It's located at 1,626 meters. This is the uphill path we have to trek, people. You can see weather is not very good. It's windy, chilly, rainy, misty, gloomy, all these things. Well, this is the typical weather during the off season, so you have to come prepared if you are traveling during the off season. Right, let's climb uphill and have a rest at Ratu Ambalama. We are at an elevation of 1,626 meters. In terms of distance, we have traveled approximately 40% of our destination's whole length, which is 7 kilometers from Nallathanni or Dalhousie to the summit of Sripada Sacred Mountain Peak. Behind me is the Ambalama number 4 or the resting hole, which is known as Ratu Ambalam or Red Resting Hole. Now the next point of attraction going to be Goluthanna, another flat area like this at 1,797 meters. Sripada summit is at 2,243, which means we have to climb another 617 meters vertically. Let me show you the surrounding view also from here. This is the view towards the trailhead or Dalhousie or Nallathanni. Unfortunately, you can see the mist has come thick and fast, covering everything. The mountains we saw on our way, Aligoda Kanda or Abeywickrema Gala, and then Yakandu Gala, Yakandu waterfall. The tea estates beyond can also be seen if there was no mist. Right, let's continue our journey towards Goluthanna. and see if we are going to be lucky enough to get this view clearly from. This is the uphill path. You can see how steep the steps are. Thankfully they are well paved, making it easier to climb, but as you can see, the weather is not being very kind to us right throughout the journey, so we are trekking amid some difficulties, but as always, Lord Sumana Saman, who is the guardian of Sripada mountain range, is protecting us, giving us his blessings and the blessings of triple gems, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and we are climbing Sripada mountains with those blessings. Right, then people, I'll see you up there, probably at Goluthanna. We are very close to the Goluthanna. Unfortunately, the rain has been with us all along, but you can see the beautiful path with this red railing on either side, lush greenery, mist. All this adds beautiful colors and dimensions to the picture. That helps us ease our pain and breathe easy. This is the view towards the path that we came uphill from Dalhousie. Started at 1252 meters. Now we have trekked up to 1797 at Goluthanna. Our target, the sacred Sripada summit point, is at 2243 meters. The next important landmark is going to be, we are going to be crossing the 6000 feet barrier in terms of elevation. That's happening between Goluthanna and Indikatupana Ambalama. I'll show you the path that we have to go uphill after the small vlog. This is the misty Goluthanna. Just to give you a brief rundown of our journey, we started at Dalhousie or Nallathanni Bridge across Seethagangula, a tributary of Kalani River, at 2252 meters. Then we crossed the first Ambalama or the resting hall, Kehelgamu Visramasalawa, went past Makarathorana, Red Bridge, Gangulthanna, Ambalama number 2, including the Peace Pagoda. Then we reached, crossed rather 5000 foot barrier, reached Seethagangula Ambalama number 3, crossed Seethagangula once again, the same water stream which is a tributary of Kalani River. Then after the very steep climb, reach Ambalam number 4, the Ratu Ambalam or red resting hall. Now we are at Goluthanna at 1797 meters. Our next interesting landmark going to be the Indikatupana Ambalama, the last Ambalama that you can come across in the Hatton-Nallathanni Trail to the sacred Sripada mountain. This is the heavenly path towards Sripada mountain. Indikatupana Ambalama is at 1905 meters. I really hate these electricity wires. They are ruining the beauty of the nature and also the pictures. I don't know why they couldn't lay it at least through these railings. That would have been amazing. We could have enjoyed this beautiful nature more. It's such a dreadful thing we have to put up with all throughout the journey. We are almost at the 6000 feet barrier. We started our trek from Central Province and we'll be crossing into Sabaragamu Province, crossing from Nuwara to Ratnapura district, central to Sabaragamu Province, very soon, just before Ambalam number 5, Indikatupana Ambalam, which is located at 1905 meters. Afterwards, we'll stay in the Sabaragamu Province until Sripada summit point. So Sripada mountain, the summit belongs to Ratnapura district, Sabaragamu Province. We just crossed the 6000 feet barrier as well as from central to Sabaragamu Province. Indikatupana Ambalam is very nearby. Here we are at inside the Indikatupana Ambalama, the last Ambalama found on Hatton-Nallathanni Trail. We are now at an elevation of 1905 meters. Remember, we started at 1252 So far we have climbed approximately 650 plus meters, and we have to climb another 338 meters to reach the sacred Sripada summit point. All this time, despite the bad weather, God Saman has been taking care of us, giving us his blessings, protecting us. Hopefully we'll be able to take you with us to the sacred peak without an incident. Yet another important milestone. This on our left hand side is the shortcut connects Hatton-Nallathanni Trail to the Ratnapura Palabhadra Trail, also called Rajamawatha. This is a forestry trail that runs around the Sripada mountain. Behind me is the Hatton-Nallathanni Trail. Down below you can see the Indikatupana police post, and further down is the Indikatupana Ambalam we just passed. Let's carry on along Hatton-Nallathanni Trail, uphill path towards Sripada summit point. At 1998 meters we should come across the trail coming from Rajamali Sandagalathanna meeting Hatton-Nallathanni Trail. I'll show you when we get there. That's also the place where the proper Mahagiri Damba, or the steepest part of the trek, starts. This is where the steepest part of the climb starts, in Sinhala known as Mahagiri Damba. And also this is where the Sandagalathanna Rajamali Trail joins with Hatton-Nallathanni. Let me show you that also. This is the forest trail that you can do a bit of adventurous trekking. One of the not so prominent trails to reach sacred Sripada summit point. As we were coming to the Hulankapolla, it started raining, people. Now it started raining once again. Ahalakanu is nearby. We should be able to get there very soon, but rain has picked up once again. This is the uphill stairway to the heaven, Sripada summit point. We passed Hulankapolla, Ahalakanu. Oh, can you hear the thundering? We passed Ahalakanu, Hulankapolla, and now reached Bagawalena. I'll show you Bagawalena in a minute, but this is a path we have to climb uphill. We are now almost at the touching distance of the sacred Sripada summit point. Alright people, if you are wondering who this is, it is still me, Sri. This is the Bagawalena, where it is located actually behind me, through those bushes. Unfortunately we can't go in there, it's overgrown. But inside that there is a sort of like a inscription with King Nishanka Malla's picture embedded in the rock along with the inscription. Now we are very close to the Sripada summit point. I showed you the uphill path. We'll go and worship this sacred mountain and end our journey. Hopefully we'll be able to get down without an incident with the blessings of God Saman. Okay everyone, amid all the obstacles we managed to overcome them and reach the sacred Sripada summit point, where Lord Buddha's left footprint is placed. This is very close to my heart, very sacred place. I actually can't get enough of visiting Sripada and worshipping it again and again. For some strange reason it seems to rain most of the time when we visit Sripada and worship it. Well, that's part of the package. You have to be content with what you get. So we managed to brave the winds, rain and all the obstacles the nature threw at us and reach here. That's the feeling is so wonderful. I feel so calm and content being able to worship Sripada like this in the off season. So people, this is Sri signing off from the sacred Sripada mountain. We'll see you once again with another hike like this very soon. Until then, stay safe, take care.